Today, we're going to be talking about small cap ETFs, and they have been making the news recently because they are outperforming their large cap counterparts and offering some opportunities for investors. So, if you're looking to diversify your portfolio, explore new avenues of growth, this video is for you. Thanks for tuning in. So, small cap ETFs are exchange traded funds, a basket of stocks. But today we're going to be talking about ones that focus on a market capitalization, typically between 300 million and 2 billion. Now, that sounds like a lot, but yes, these are going to be focused on the smaller companies that are traded on the stock exchange. These companies are known for their potential for high growth and also come with higher risk compared to the large cap stocks. Recently, however, small caps have been getting a lot of attention due to attractive valuation. So, why is this going on? Why has there been a shift to these small cap investments? It's because they have been outperforming large caps over the past several weeks. Historically, small caps tend to outperform during economic recoveries, as well as inflation and rising rates. Overall, when we're in a bear market, these companies tend to do better. When it comes to these small cap ETFs, you're giving yourself a broader exposure into a variety of small companies across different sectors, reducing the individual risk of choosing stocks. Another reason to invest is that smaller companies often have more room for growth compared to the established large cap companies. And many are trading at attractive prices right now, making them a value for investors. So, we're going to take a look at 10 different small cap ETFs, and I'm going to touch on different points that you can consider in evaluating and deciding on these ETFs or any others that you might be considering. So, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tune into my videos to stay updated. If you're ready to open a new account, check out my referral links. They will be in the description and pinned in the comments. And also consider joining channel membership. So let's get started. And I'm going to be going through these 10 ETFs from largest down to smallest. So the first one we're going to start off with over 70 billion down to our last one that's going to be about 6. But first, there are many ways that you can go about finding the information in order to research your ETF. I'm going to show you a few ways, but I'm primarily going to just run through some different points, and we'll be using the ETF Research Center. So it's etfrc.com. It is a free site that I use. But this is another way if you have, for example, your investment app. I'm using the Moomoo Investing app to show you these couple of screenshots. You can just go into your app, search the ETF that you want to take a look at, go to the fund detail, and it will show you whatever you want to find. The Morningstar ratings, the dividend yield, the top holdings, and so much more detail. You just have to go ahead and just filter in, dig into the different points that you want to take a look at. Now, another way you can do it is by going to your brokerage account, for example, on Fidelity. Again, just search the ETF that you want to research, and all of the detail will be there. You go to, for example, the overview tab, it's giving you the expense ratio. On this page, also, you can see the performance and just dig into all of these key factors that can help you in making your decision. Okay, so now let's get started with our list of 10 small cap ETFs. Number one on the list is IJR, iShares Core S&P Small-Cap ETF. So this fund has an expense ratio of 0.06%. It has a dividend yield of 1.3%, and that pays out quarterly. On the year, this fund is up 14.49%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 38.60%. And another factor that you're going to have to take into consideration is what sector are you looking to gain exposure to when you're choosing your ETF? So, this particular one holds 670 different investments, and it's most heavily weighted in the financials. Okay, next up is iShares Russell 2000 ETF. This fund has an expense ratio of 0.19%, a dividend yield of 1.2% that is also paid quarterly. On the year, this fund is up 15.63%, and over the last 5 years, it is up 42.63%. There are 1,988 different investments in this fund, and it seems pretty evenly weighted between financials, health, and industrial as its largest sectors. Okay, number 3 on the list is VB, Vanguard's Small Cap Index Funds ETF. On the year, this fund is up 13.43%. Over the last 5 years, it's up 45.08%. It has an expense ratio of 0.05%, a dividend yield of 1.4%, and it also pays its dividend out quarterly. So let's take a look. It's 866 different holdings, and it's most heavily weighted in the industrial and financial sectors. Okay, number 4 on the list is SCHA, Schwab US Small Cap ETF. On the year, this fund is up 13.97%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 40.82%. It has an expense ratio of 0.04%, a dividend yield of 1.2% paid quarterly. So this fund has 1,729 different holdings, and its largest position is also industrial and financial, followed by healthcare and discretionary. Number 5 on their list is ticker symbol SPSM, and it is SPDR portfolio S&P 600 small cap ETF. On the year, this fund is up 13.65%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 47.06%. The fund has 588 different holdings, heavily weighted in financials, industrial discretionary, as well as technology. The expense ratio of this fund is 0.05%, dividend yield 1.3% paid quarterly. Okay, on to number 6 on our list, ticker symbol VTWO Vanguard Russell 2000 Index Funds ETF. On the year, this fund is up 15.67%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 43.52%. It has an expense ratio of 0.10, a dividend yield of 1.2% paid quarterly. It is made up of 1,958 different holdings, most heavily weighted in the sectors of industrial, health, financial, and technology. Fund number 7 is ticker symbol FNDA, the Schwab Fundamental U.S. Small Company ETF. On the year, this fund is up 13.39%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 55.49%. It has an expense ratio of 0.225% and a dividend yield of 1.5% paid quarterly. This fund gives you exposure to 1,045 different investments. Largest sectors are industrial and financial. Number 8 is ticker symbol DFAS, the Dimensional U.S. Small Cap ETF. Year to date, this fund is up 14.85%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 15.40%. So that is the lowest 5-year return that we've come across so far. This fund has 2,051 holdings, most heavily weighted in industrial, followed by financials and discretionary. Number 9 is ticker symbol VIOO, Vanguard's S&P Small Cap 600 Index Fund. On the year, this fund is up 14%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 50.07%. It has an expense ratio of 0.10%, a dividend yield of 1.2% paid quarterly. The fund is made up of 612 different holdings, most heavily weighted in financials and industrial. Last on our list, number 10, ticker symbol PRFZ, the Invesco 1500 Small Mid ETF. So on the year, this fund is up 16.25%. Over the last 5 years, it is up 61.31%. This fund is made up of 1,403 different holdings, most heavily weighted in the financial sector. So, as I was going through the funds, I did not mention each current stock price, but always remember on many platforms, you can buy fractional shares and build into these positions if the share price is a little bit high for your budget. Some considerations when it comes to investing in small cap stocks. They are inherently more volatile and riskier than large caps. But by choosing an ETF instead of the individual stocks, remember you're mitigating your risk a bit by doing it in this way. Make sure that you are comfortable with any risk when it comes to investing. While these ETFs offer broad exposure, it's always crucial and smart to make sure that you have yourself more diversified than just one asset class when it comes to building out your portfolio. You want to make sure that you are well diversified. Do your due diligence, research the ETF's holdings, the expense ratios, and the performance history to ensure that they align with your current needs. Dig further into any ETF that I mentioned that you are going to consider adding to your portfolio to see if there are any other key points that help you determine if this is the right investment for you. Another feature that they have in the ETF Research Center is that you can add in two ETFs for comparison or to take a look at the different fund overlap. So, with the way the economy is right now, investing into small cap ETFs might be a great way to tap into some high growth potential on your journey to build your portfolio. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to keep an eye on market trends and stay updated on the financial news so you can always be making informed decisions about your investment choices. I think many of these ETFs that we took a look at today have reasonable expense ratios. I know two investment choices that I do in my taxable accounts are VOO and VTI, and they both have an expense ratio of 0.03. There are a few in here that were in line with that or slightly higher, but weigh that along with, as I said, the long term performance, the sectors that it gives you exposure to, and other key points that align with your investment goals. All funds like this are going to have an expense ratio associated with them. But if you have two funds with similar exposure and rate of return, I definitely factor that into my decision. For example, I would not invest into the SPY when there are other investment choices like VOO that align with my needs and my goals. So, again, thanks for watching. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out my referral links. They will be in the description and pinned in the comments. Okay, bye.